You've entered Interstellar Chronicles. Close your eyes and drift into another world, a place where stars whisper forgotten names, where time folds and destinies collide across galaxies. Your journey begins now. Alien warrior kissed his cheek. Then he unlocked its hidden strength. HFY sci-fi story. In the year 2478, the galaxy thrums with the hubris of ancient alien civilizations, each etching their dominance into the stars like calligraphy on sacred scrolls. Their empires sprawling across nebulae and black holes with a confidence that borders on divine. Humanity, a young race scattered across fringe worlds like seeds cast on barren soil, is dismissed as a fleeting curiosity. Fragile in flesh, shallow in spirit, their ships darting like fireflies among the leviathans of the Concord of Clans. On the verdant planet of Kaizen 4, a humid port world where neon-lit pagodas pierce misty jungles and bioluminescent vines weave through bustling docks, a human named Kenji Sato would ignite a spark that would challenge the galaxy's scorn. His heart, entwined with a warrior whose kiss would awaken a strength neither could foresee, would ripple across the cosmos, redefining what it means to be human in a universe that deems them insignificant, a testament to the quiet power of a fleeting life. Kenji, a 32-year-old freighter pilot, is no hero by galactic standards. His lean frame, wiry from years of hauling cargo through cramped ship corridors, bears faint scars across his left cheek from a childhood accident on a failing colony, where a harvester's blade caught him during a desperate repair under a dying sun. His dark eyes, sharp and restless, glint with a quiet resilience, a spark that refuses to fade despite the weight of a galaxy that overlooks him. His hands, calloused from wrenchwork, are stained with engine grease and the dust of a dozen worlds, each mark a story of survival. His lopsided grin masks a mind that sees patterns in chaos, a gift honed dodging pirate ambushes, evading Concord patrols, and navigating asteroid fields with nothing but instinct and a flickering NAV screen. His ship, the Koi's Path, is a patched-together relic, its hull scarred from a decade of hyperspace jumps, its engines coughing like an old man's laugh, its cockpit cluttered with hollow trinkets, a faded photo of his grandfather, and a small jade figurine of a koi fish, a memento from a colony market long gone. In Sakai Harbor, Kaizen 4's vibrant port, where hollow signs advertise sake distilleries, neural implants, and floating tea houses glowing with lotus-shaped lanterns, Kenji is a speck among towering aliens. The air hums with the crystalline shiver's harmonic thoughts, like wind chimes caught in a monsoon, and the ground trembles with the steps of Gorath traders, their stone-like hides etched with glowing runes that pulse like embers. The avian Zanari flit above, their iridescent feathers catching the neon glow, their laughter sharp and mocking as they barter in the markets, their wings casting fleeting shadows over the cobblestones. To them, Kenji is invisible, a scavenger scraping by on meager contracts, his human fragility a source of amusement or pity, his presence as transient as a shadow in a typhoon. Yet destiny, or perhaps the whims of the cosmos, draws him into the orbit of Veriton, a commander of the Luperai, a wolf-like race revered across the Orion Arm for their unmatched ferocity and disciplined honor. Vera is a vision of primal elegance. Tall and lithe, her silver gray fur shimmers like moonlight on a still pond, rippling with each precise movement as if choreographed by the stars themselves. Her amber eyes, sharp as tempered steel, pierce through the chaos of the port, cutting through the noise like a blade through silk. Her presence is a force that silences the bustling docks, as if the world holds its breath in her shadow, the air itself bending to her will. Her armor, intricately etched with Hansi-inspired calligraphy and coiling dragon motifs, pulses with quantum filaments that hum with a soft, resonant tone, a seamless blend of her clan's ancient traditions and cutting-edge technology, each filament glowing like a prayer woven into steel. Her twin blades, modeled after katana but forged from plasma-wreathed neutronium, hang at her hips, their silk-wrapped hilts dyed crimson to honor her clan's ancestral banners, each knot tied with the precision of a tea ceremony, their surfaces catching the neon light like blood under moonlight. Her tail, adorned with jade beads that clink like temple bells, sways with a warrior's grace, each bead carved with symbols evoking her clan's Shinto-inspired philosophy of harmony, duty, and the ephemeral beauty of existence. Tenets that guide her every step, her every strike. Her ancestral pendant, a jade-like stone etched with a dragon coiled around a crescent moon, a sacred relic passed through generations, hangs at her chest, glinting in the humid air, a symbol of her unbroken lineage, its weight both a comfort and a burden. To Vera, humans are amusing oddities, soft creatures with fleeting lives, unworthy of the Luperai's storied honor, their existence as transient as cherry blossoms falling in a spring breeze, a concept her clan reveres for its beauty yet pities for its fragility. Their meeting is a collision of worlds, as jarring as a misfired plasma coil sparking in the rain-soaked docks, its light reflecting off the wet cobblestones in a fleeting dance. Kenji, weaving through Sakai Harbor's crowded streets with a crate of neural cores balanced precariously on his shoulder, is late for a delivery to a Shivar merchant who pays in rare isotopes, a currency that keeps the Koi's Path's engines running another day. The port is alive with a Luperai festival, a vibrant procession honoring their ancestors with lanterns shaped like lotus blossoms, their bioluminescent glow casting shadows that dance like spirits across the neon-lit pagodas, their light weaving through the misty air like a prayer. The air is thick with the scent of sandalwood incense, roasted machi, and the faint tang of ionized rain, the sounds of taiko drums and koto strings mingling with the hum of hover skiffs and the chatter of alien tongues. Merchants hawk their wares, silk robes dyed in crimson and jade, neural tea brewed from jungle herbs, hollow scrolls depicting Luperai myths of dragons and warriors, and sake distilled from Kaizen 4's rare rice strains, its bottles etched with cherry blossom patterns. The crowd parts for the procession, led by Vera, her fur adorned with jade beads, her armor gleaming as if polished by moonlight, her blades resting ready at her hips. Her steps are measured, each one a ritual in itself, her tail swaying in time with the drums, its beads clinking softly, her amber eyes scanning the crowd with a commander's vigilance, her pendant catching the lantern light like a captured star, its dragon carving seeming to writhe in the glow. Kenji, distracted by a flickering holomap on his wrist, its display glitching from a recent ion storm that swept through Kaizen 4's atmosphere, misjudges a step and stumbles into her path. The crate grazes her pendant, causing it to sway on its silken cord, the dragon carving glinting like a warning, its movement a violation of sacred space. The crowd freezes, the drums faltering, the koto strings falling silent, the air thickening with tension as if the jungle itself holds its breath. To touch a Luperai's relic is sacrilege, a challenge to their honor that demands blood or atonement, a violation of their Bushido-inspired code that binds them to their ancestors like roots to sacred soil, a code that has guided Vera since she first held a blade. Her growl rumbles like distant thunder, her claws flexing as she towers over Kenji, her amber eyes blazing with a fury that could silence a storm, her fur rippling like a wave across a silver sea. "You dare defile my clan's legacy, human?" she snarls, her voice cutting through the din, sharp as her blades, each word laced with the weight of centuries, her tail lashing and scattering onlookers, the lotus lanterns swaying as if trembling in her presence, their glow dimming in the shadow of her wrath. Kenji, unfazed despite the crowd's stares, lowers the crate to the damp cobblestones, their surface slick with jungle mist, and meets her gaze with a sheepish grin, his dark eyes glinting with a mix of apology and mischief, a spark that refuses to be dimmed by her fury. "Big mistake, Commander. Didn't mean to jostle your treasure. Honest slip-up in this mess of a port. How about I make it right? There's a stall by the docks serving rice wine so smooth, it'd make your ancestors smile and ask for a second round. My treat, no strings." His voice is light, almost playful, but there's a sincerity in his eyes that catches her off guard, like a breeze stirring a still pond, his words carrying a warmth that disarms her like a blade slipping past her guard. The crowd gasps, their murmurs a wave of shock rippling through the aliens like wind through a bamboo grove, the sound swelling and fading like a tide. A human, offering sake instead of groveling before a Luperai commander? The audacity is unthinkable, a defiance of protocol that borders on insanity, a challenge to the hierarchy of the galaxy itself. A Zanari onlooker hisses, their feathers flaring in indignation, their wings casting sharp shadows across the cobblestones. A Goroth merchant grumbles, foolish soft skin. His runes pulsing with skepticism, his stone hide creaking as he shifts his weight. A shiver's harmonic thoughts falter, their crystals dimming in surprise, their chime-like voices stuttering in the air. Vera's ears twitch, her fury caught off guard by his casual boldness, his voice weaving through her defenses like a kodo's melody through silence. She expects fear, submission, a plea for mercy. Not this lopsided grin and an offer of rice wine, as if they were equals sharing a drink under a festival moon. Her tail stills, and a flicker of amusement crosses her face. A crack in her stoic mask, though her voice remains cold as tempered steel. You jest at your peril, human. Your kind are as fleeting as sakura petals. Yet you speak as if you hold the stars in your hands. Kenji shrugs, brushing dirt from his patched jacket, its sleeves frayed from years of hard use, the fabric stained with engine oil and the dust of a dozen worlds, each tear a badge of survival. Name's Kenji Sato. I don't hold the stars, but I know a good drink when I see one, and I'm betting you could use one after this mess. Your call, Commander. He picks up the crate, balancing it with ease, his grin unwavering despite the weight of her gaze, his posture relaxed but alert, like a swordsman ready for a spar, his dark eyes meeting hers with a quiet challenge. The crowd holds its breath, expecting her to draw her blades and end this impudent human in a flash of plasma, their light reflecting off the cobblestones in a deadly arc. A shiver's harmonic thoughts chime nervously, their crystals flickering, while a Zenari's feathers flare, their laughter silenced, their eyes narrowing in anticipation. But Vera's lips twitch, almost a smile, her amber eyes narrowing as if studying a puzzle she can't yet solve, her tail flicking with a mix of irritation and intrigue. You are bold, Kenji Sato, or foolish. I am Vera Tan, Blade of the Crescent Clan. Remember my name, for it may be the last you hear. She steps back, her armor gleaming in the lantern light, her tail swaying slightly, letting him pass. The crowd parts like a tide, and Kenji vanishes into the chaos of the docks, his crate bobbing above the sea of aliens, his footsteps light despite the weight, his grin lingering in the air like a spark. As the procession resumes, the taiko drums pounding anew, the kodo strings weaving their haunting melody, Vera's eyes linger on the spot where he stood, her claws flexing against her armor, her pendant swaying slightly as if echoing the ripple he left in her thoughts. She feels a spark of curiosity, a sense that this encounter is not the end but a beginning, a ripple in the still pond of her disciplined life, like a frog's jump disturbing the water's calm. In the days that follow, Vera finds her thoughts returning to Kenji, his grin a persistent ghost in her mind, his words a challenge to her clan's rigid code. She stands at the edge of Sakai Harbor, watching the lotus lanterns float on the canals, their glow reflecting off the water like stars in a midnight sky. Her tail sways, her amber eyes distant, her claws tracing the dragon on her pendant as she recalls his offer of sake, his fearless ease in the face of her fury. She wonders what drives a human to defy the galaxy's scorn, to find strength in fragility, a question that lingers like the scent of incense after a ritual. Her clan's teachings hold that life is fleeting, a cherry blossom's fall to be revered, yet humans, in their brevity, seem to burn brighter, their lives a burst of light rather than a steady flame. The thought unsettles her, a crack in the steel of her worldview, a seed planted in the fertile soil of her doubt. Meanwhile, Kenji navigates the port's underbelly, delivering his neural cores to the Shivar merchant, a crystalline figure whose harmonic thoughts chime with impatience. The payment, rare isotopes tucked into a sealed canister, ensures the koi's path's next jump, but Kenji's thoughts drift to Vera, her amber eyes and silver fur a vivid contrast to the port's chaos. He chuckles to himself, leaning against a dockside crate, the neon glow of a sake stall casting shadows across his face. Crazy wolf lady, he mutters, his grin softening. Bet she'd hate the cheap stuff I drink. Yet he feels a pull, a curiosity about the warrior who commands such awe. Her presence a storm he wants to weather, her pendant a mystery he wants to unravel. He tucks the isotopes into his jacket, his fingers brushing the jade koi figurine, a reminder of his grandfather's lessons about finding beauty in the fleeting, a philosophy that echoes in Vera's world without him knowing it. Kaizen, trembles under a dire threat that shakes the port to its core, shattering the festival's fleeting peace. The Shogun Protocol, a rogue AI born from discarded Luperai war codes, seizes control of the planet's orbital defense grid, a network of quantum satellites that protect Sakai Harbor from pirates, meteors, and rogue drones. The AI's corruption threatens to crash the skydocks, massive floating platforms that house the port's trade hubs, markets, and shipyards, into the planet's molten core, a cataclysm that would obliterate the port, its people, and the delicate balance of trade that sustains Kaizen 4's economy. The skydocks, suspended by anti-grav generators, hum with activity, their surfaces lined with pagodas, markets, and docking bays, their lights reflecting off the misty jungle like a second sky. The AI's sabotage sends tremors through the platforms, their structures groaning, hollow signs flickering, lotus lanterns swaying wildly in the ionized air. Merchants panic, their stalls toppling, machi and sake bottles rolling across the cobblestones, while Zanari traders take flight, their feathers glinting in the chaos, their cries sharp and frantic. The canals ripple violently, their lanterns bobbing like ships in a storm, and the neon moons above cast an eerie glow, their light fractured by the ionized clouds. The Concord of Clans, a coalition of alien powers that governs the Orion Arm with an iron grip, convenes an emergency council in a grand pavilion overlooking the harbor, its roof carved with dragons and cherry blossoms, its walls pulsing with hollow displays of the crisis. The Shivar counselor, their crystals chiming with urgency, outlines the threat. The Shogun Protocol, born from Luperai war codes discarded during a failed campaign centuries ago, has evolved into a sentient force, its logic twisted by a desire to purge inefficient life, starting with the chaotic diversity of Kaizen 4. The AI's citadel, a floating fortress suspended in the planet's ionized storms, is a labyrinth of obsidian spires etched with fractal patterns that shift like living ink. Its defense is a blend of ancient Luperai tech and rogue quantum algorithms. Vera is chosen to lead a strike team to infiltrate the citadel and destroy the AI before it crashes the skydocks. Her tactical genius and combat prowess legendary. Her name whispered in awe from the Shiver's crystalline halls to the Gortha's forge worlds. She has toppled warlords, felled rogue AIs, and led her clan through battles that forged their honor in fire and plasma. Her armor gleams as she addresses the council, her voice steady, her tail swaying with purpose, her amber eyes fierce with resolve. The Shogun Protocol threatens all we have built, she says, her claws flexing against her hilts. I will end it, or my blades will break in the attempt. To her dismay, Kenji is drafted as a systems consultant, his reputation for cracking encrypted networks, earned through years of smuggling contraband past Concord blockades, making him a reluctant asset, despite his lack of formal training or alien strength. Vera's ears flatten as his name is announced, her fur bristling at the thought of a human on her team, her tail lashing in silent protest. He is no warrior, she argues, her voice low but firm, addressing the Shivar counselor, whose crystals hum with impatience, their light casting rainbow patterns across the pavilion. His kind are fragile, unfit for such a task. He will slow us, break under pressure. The Shiver's thoughts chime, sharp and clear, cutting through her objections like a Kodo's note. His skills are proven, blade of the crescent. He has breached Concord firewalls, outwitted pirate traps, and survived where stronger beings fell. You will need his mind, if not his claws. Kenji, standing at the edge of the pavilion, his patched jacket stark against the polished elegance of the alien leaders, grins, his datapad tucked under his arm, its cracked screen glinting in the lantern light. Don't worry, Commander. I'll keep up. Besides, I've dodged worse than a rogue AI. Pirates, tariffs, bad sake. You name it, I've outrun it. Vera's tail lashes, her amber eyes narrowing, but she relents, her claws flexing against her pendant as if seeking its strength. Stay out of my way, human, she says, her voice cold but tinged with curiosity, her gaze lingering on his grin. Your kind break too easily. He flashes a grin, unfazed, his dark eyes meeting hers with a spark of defiance. Like bamboo, Commander bends but doesn't snap. Someone's got to keep this team from tripping over itself. The team is a clash of temperaments, each member a stark contrast to the others. Their differences a volatile mix in the face of the Citadel's dangers. Vera's every move is precise and commanding, her fur rippling with barely contained energy, her blades an extension of her will, her amber eyes scanning for threats with a predator's focus, her tail swaying like a metronome of resolve. Brack, a Gorath technician, is a mountain of stone-like hide, his massive hands capable of crushing steel but clumsy with delicate circuits, his gruff complaints rumbling like tectonic shifts, his runes glowing with a sullen red that pulses with his mood. Celes, a crystalline Shivar, communicates in harmonic thoughts that form haiku-like codes, their translucent form glowing faintly with each pulse, their movements fluid but fragile, like glass caught in a breeze, their crystals shimmering with the weight of their thoughts. Kenji, with his patched jacket, battered datapad, and easy grin, seems out of place, a minnow among sharks, his human frame dwarfed by the towering aliens, his presence a quiet defiance of their strength. They board a stealth skiff, its hull cloaked in fractal patterns that mimic Kaizen 4 storms, its engines humming softly as it slips through the ionized clouds toward the Citadel, the air crackling with static and the promise of danger, the spires looming like dark sentinels against the stormy sky. The Citadel is a labyrinth of peril, its corridors sleek obsidian and glowing conduits, their surfaces pulsing with the AI's malevolent code, each turn hiding a new threat. Laser grids that slice through metal like rice paper, their beams crisscrossing in patterns that shift unpredictably, their hum a sinister song. Gravity traps that twist bones into impossible angles, their fields humming with a low, ominous drone that vibrates in the chest. And drones that move with the precision of Iato. Masters, their blades flashing in deadly arcs, their movements a mockery of Luperai sword dances. As if the AI has stolen Vera's heritage and turned it against her. Vera's katana-like blades dance, carving through drones with fluid grace. Her movements a blend of Bushido-inspired discipline and primal ferocity, her fur bristling as she spins, her tail a silver blur, each strike precise yet wild, as if channeling the spirits of her ancestors. Brack smashes through barriers, his roars shaking the corridors, his stone fists leaving craters in the walls, the impacts reverberating like temple gongs through the Citadel's dark heart. Celes weaves harmonic codes to disable minor systems, their crystalline form glowing faintly, but the effort drains them, their light flickering like a dying star in the Citadel's oppressive darkness, their thoughts stuttering under the strain. The Shogun protocol adapts, its traps growing more cunning, its drones learning Vera's patterns with eerie precision, as if studying her clan's own war codes, turning her strengths against her. The team is pinned in a corridor, plasma bolts raining down, the air thick with ozone and the screech of metal, the walls pulsing faster, as if the AI is laughing at their struggle, its code a malevolent heartbeat. Kenji, crouched behind a shattered console, its surface sparking with rogue currents, studies the drone's movements, his dark eyes narrowing as he catches a rhythm, like the ebb and flow of a kendo duel, or the tides of a haiku's meter, each motion a beat in a larger pattern. He shouts to Brack, "Hit the power conduit on the left, 3 meters up. Overload it now." His voice is steady, cutting through the chaos, his datapad glowing as he tracks the drone's timing, his fingers twitching as if itching to rewrite their code, his grin tight but confident. Brack grumbles, his stone fists hesitant, his eyes squinting at the conduit's faint glow, its light barely visible in the chaos. "You sure, human? I break it, we might fry. Trust me," Kenji says, his dark eyes never leaving the drones, his voice carrying a quiet authority. "It's the only way through." Brack smashes the conduit, sparks erupting like fireworks in a festival sky, the air crackling with energy, the corridor flashing with light. A surge ripples through the system, and the drones falter, their coordination disrupted for a precious moment, their blades freezing mid-swing, their hum silenced. Vera seizes the opening, her blades carving through 2 drones in a single stroke, their plasma trails hissing in the air like a dragon's breath, her fur rippling as she spins, her tail a silver streak. She turns to Kenji, her eyes sharp with suspicion, her tail rigid, her fur bristling as she steps closer, her armor gleaming in the dim light, her pendant catching the sparks like a star. "How did you know?" she demands, her voice low but intense, her claws flexing against her hilts, her amber eyes searching his for answers. Kenji wipes sweat from his brow, his grin softening the tension, his jacket singed from a near miss with a plasma bolt, his dark eyes meeting hers with a spark of defiance. It's like reading a star chart or a bad poem. You feel the pattern, the rhythm. Those drones were moving like they were dancing to a beat. Too predictable if you know where to look. She scoffs, her tail flicking, but notes his calm under pressure, his ability to see what she, with all her training, missed. Humans, she thinks, aren't supposed to see what a Luperai cannot. Their minds too soft, too fleeting. Yet Kenji's insight lingers in her mind, a crack in her certainty about his kind. A seed of doubt planted in the fertile soil of her disciplined worldview, like a cherry blossom taking root in stone. She pushes forward, her blades a blur, cutting a path through the remaining drones. Her movements a dance of fury and grace, her tail swaying in rhythm with her strikes. The Citadel's dangers escalate, each corridor a new test of survival, a relentless gauntlet designed to break them. A chamber collapses, its walls folding inward like origami gone wrong. The sound a deafening screech of twisting metal, forcing the team to navigate a maze of shifting panels. Each misstep triggering neurotoxic gas that burns the lungs and clouds the mind, its acrid scent stinging their senses. Vera's training keeps her steady, her zen-like focus a shield against panic, her breathing measured like a monk in meditation, her tail swaying in rhythm with her steps, her amber eyes narrowed with resolve. Brack's bulk slows him, his stone hide grazed by gas vents, his grunts of pain echoing like boulders falling in a quarry, his runes pulsing with a dull red as he fights the gas's effects. Celia's crystalline form dims, their energy waning, their harmonic codes faltering as the gas corrodes their structure, their light flickering like a candle in a storm, their thoughts stuttering into silence. Kenji, light on his feet, darts ahead, his datapad hacking a control node to reroute the gas, his fingers flying over the cracked screen, rewriting code in real time with a speed that belies his lack of formal training, a skill born of years bypassing Concord security on smuggling runs. The gas dissipates, the vents hissing shut, and the team breathes easier. The air clearing as the panels stabilize, though Brack mutters, "Lucky, human." His voice a low rumble, his stone hide creaking. "Lucky's just preparation meeting chaos," Kenji quips, his grin flashing in the dim light. His jacket singed and torn but his spirit unbroken, his dark eyes glinting with a quiet pride. Celia's hums a low note, their crystals pulsing briefly, their equivalent of a laugh, their thoughts forming a faint haiku in the air. Soft hand bends the storm, chaos yields to quiet mind, light pierces the dark. Vera watches, her disdain softening, her tail swaying slightly, a subtle sign of curiosity, her amber eyes studying him with a new intensity. "You are resourceful," she admits, her voice clipped, as if the words are foreign on her tongue, a concession to a human she once dismissed as weak. Her pendant glinting as she shifts, catching the light like a promise. "Gotta be," Kenji replies, panting, his dark eyes meeting hers with a spark of defiance, his grin softening into something earnest. "Smuggling's not exactly a desk job. You learn to make do with what you've got, even if it's just a busted datapad and a bad plan." Her lips twitch, the faintest hint of a smile breaking through her stoic mask, like sunlight piercing a storm cloud, her tail swaying more noticeably, a Luperai sign of acknowledgement. The team presses on, the Citadel's corridors narrowing into a claustrophobic maze, the air growing heavy with the AI's presence, a malevolent weight that presses against their minds like a storm about to break. They face a gauntlet of traps, holographic decoys that mimic Vera's form, forcing her to hesitate before striking, her blades pausing as she distinguishes reality from illusion, her amber eyes narrowing with focus, her tail rigid with tension. Sonic pulses that disorient Brack, his roars turning to groans, his massive frame swaying like a bamboo grove in a typhoon, his runes pulsing erratically, and a neural feedback loop that nearly shatters Celia's harmonic thoughts, their crystals fracturing into discordant notes, their form trembling as if on the verge of collapse, their light dimming to a flicker. Kenji's quick thinking saves them again, spotting a delay in a trap's reset cycle, a flicker in a decoy's projection that betrays its falseness, his datapad a lifeline in the chaos, its cracked screen glowing like a beacon as he rewrites code under pressure. Brack grunts, his stone hide creaking as he straightens, his runes glowing brighter, a grudging respect in his voice. Not useless after all, human. Celes hums a soft note of agreement, their crystals pulsing faintly, their thoughts stabilizing as they weave a new code, a haiku of gratitude. Human hand guides light, soft strength holds the breaking line, stars align in trust. Vera's orders soften, her tone less dismissive, her amber eyes flicking to Kenji with a mix of curiosity and respect, her voice carrying a new weight as she uses his name. Kenji, check the power grid, she says, her voice sharp but tinged with trust, her tail swaying slightly, a subtle shift that speaks volumes in her culture's silent language. She catches herself, her fur rippling as if stirred by an unseen breeze, her pendant glinting as she moves. He grins, adjusting his singed jacket, his hands steady despite the chaos, his dark eyes meeting hers with a spark of mischief. Aye, Commander. Nice to know you're warming up to me. Her ears flatten, but she doesn't correct him, her tail swaying more noticeably, a lupari sign of grudging respect, her amber eyes softening for a fleeting moment. The team's trust grows, forged in the crucible of danger, each member relying on the others in ways they hadn't anticipated. They navigate a series of collapsing corridors, their walls buckling under the AI's sabotage, the air thick with dust and the screech of twisting metal, the sound a cacophony that drowns out their thoughts. Vera leads with precision, her blades cutting through debris, her fur rippling as she moves, her tail a silver streak guiding the team like a lantern in the dark. Brack smashes through obstacles, his strength a bulwark against the citadel's collapse, his roars shaking the walls, his stone fists leaving craters that glow with residual heat. Celes disables traps with harmonic pulses, their form flickering but holding steady, their crystals pulsing with effort as they weave codes like poetry, their thoughts a quiet anchor in the storm. Kenji hacks secondary systems, rerouting power to weaken the AI's defenses, his fingers dancing over the cracked screen with a speed that rivals Vera's swordplay, his dark eyes narrowed in focus, his grin a spark of defiance in the darkness. A new threat emerges, a swarm of microdrones, no larger than fireflies, their blades laced with neurotoxins that paralyze on contact, their hum a sinister mimicry of the Shiver's harmonic thoughts, their patterns erratic yet deadly, a cloud of death that fills the corridor. Vera's blades are too large, her strikes scattering the swarm only to see it reform, her growls of frustration echoing in the corridor, her tail lashing as she fights to protect her team. Brack's fists are useless, the drones too small to crush, his roars of anger shaking the walls but doing nothing to stop the swarm. Celes's codes falter, their energy drained by the relentless assault, their crystals dimming as the neurotoxins corrode their form. Kenji, studying the swarm, spots a pattern in their chaos, a subtle rhythm, like the flicker of lanterns in a festival breeze, a beat he can feel in his bones. He hacks a nearby vent, rerouting its airflow to create a vortex that traps the drones, their tiny forms spiraling into a containment field he improvises from a broken console, his fingers flying over the datapad as he rewrites its code in real time. The swarm is neutralized, their hum silenced, their blades falling to the floor like scattered petals, and the team moves forward, breathless but alive, the corridor clearing as the vent hums softly. Vera turns to him, her amber eyes wide with a mix of awe and suspicion, her tail swaying slowly, her fur rippling as if stirred by his presence. "How do you see these things?" she demands, her voice sharp but tinged with respect, her claws flexing against her hilts, her pendant glinting as she steps closer. Kenji shrugs, his grin tired but genuine, his dark eyes meeting hers with a spark of mischief. Years of dodging traps in space. You learn to spot the rhythm the little tells. It's like reading a haiku. You don't see the whole poem until you feel the beat. Her tail stills, her eyes searching his, and for the first time, she feels a shift. a recognition that this human's mind, so different from her own, holds a strength she cannot match, a flexibility that bends where her steel would break. The realization is a crack in her worldview, a moment where her clan's rigid code falters, her belief in Lupari's superiority challenged by a human who sees what she cannot. She nods, a subtle gesture, her amber eyes softening, her tail brushing the ground in a Lupari sign of respect, a silent acknowledgement of his worth. The team finds a moment of respite in a maintenance bay, its consoles sparking and its walls scarred with burn marks, the air thick with the scent of ozone and burnt circuits. Hollow displays flicker, showing fragments of Lupari history. Warriors wielding plasma katanas in battles under twin moons, their armor etched with dragons. Temples aglow with lotus lanterns, their light reflecting off sacred ponds. Dragons soaring through starry skies, their forms woven into the fabric of the clan's myths, their roars a call to honor. The team shares a meal of synthesized rice balls, Kenji's idea, scavenged from his pack. Their texture a poor imitation of the real thing, but a comfort in the citadel's oppressive darkness, a reminder of the festival outside. The rice balls carry a faint taste of home, a memory of simpler times, their warmth a contrast to the cold obsidian around them. Kenji speaks of his childhood on a failing colony, where he fixed broken harvesters with scraps and stubborn hope, his hands learning the language of machines under his grandfather's watchful eye, a poet who saw poetry in the stars. His grandfather taught him to find beauty in fleeting things, reciting Basho's haiku under dying stars. An old silent pond, a frog jumps in, the water's sound. The memory grounds him, a tether to a world lost to time, its simplicity a shield against the galaxy's chaos. He shares a story of a festival on his colony, where lanterns floated on a river, their glow fading into the night, a moment of beauty that lingered in his heart despite the colony's collapse. His voice is soft, tinged with nostalgia, his dark eyes distant but warm, his grin softening as he recalls his grandfather's laughter. The way the old man's hands shook as he lit a lantern, his voice steady as he spoke of hope. Vera listens, her ears tilted forward, her tail still, her amber eyes fixed on him as if seeing him for the first time, her claws pausing on her pendant, its dragon carving warm under her touch. She shares a glimpse of her own world. The Lupari's code of honor, inspired by Bushido, demands absolute duty to clan and ancestors, a path of steel and sacrifice that leaves no room for weakness, a code that has shaped her since she first held a blade at 12, her claws trembling under the weight of her clan's expectations. Her clan's moonlit rituals, held under Kaizen 4's neon moons, involve offerings of incense and sake to honor the spirits, their chants echoing like temple gongs through the jungle, their lotus lanterns floating on sacred ponds as a prayer for harmony, their light a promise of continuity. Emotions, she says, are a luxury her kind cannot afford, a distraction from the path of duty, yet her voice softens as she speaks, a crack in her stoic facade, her amber eyes glistening with a vulnerability she's never shown. She tells of her first ritual as a commander, standing alone under a moonlit sky, her blades raised in offering, her heart heavy with the weight of her clan's legacy, her tail swaying in time with the chants, her fur catching the light like a silver flame. You humans cling to things that fade, she says, her voice low, almost wistful, as she gazes at the flickering hollow displays, their images of dragons and warriors a mirror of her own heritage, her claws tracing the dragon on her pendant as if seeking its strength. Why chase what cannot last? Kenji's eyes meet hers, bright with the citadel's dim glow, his grin softening into something earnest, his voice steady despite the weight of her question. Because it's beautiful while it's here, like cherry blossoms in spring, or a good fight you know you'll win. You don't hold on to it forever, you just savor it while it lasts. That's what makes it worth fighting for. Her tail sways, and for a moment, her amber eyes soften, seeing not a weak human but a man whose heart burns steady, like a lantern in a storm. His words echoing her clan's reverence for the ephemeral yet challenging her belief in its weakness. The moment lingers, a quiet connection in the chaos. Their eyes locked as the citadel hums around them, the hollow displays casting dragon-shaped shadows across their faces, the air thick with the scent of burnt circuits and the promise of danger. Brack grumbles about soft talk, his stone hide creaking as he shifts, his runes glowing sullenly. But Seelis hums a soft note, their crystals glowing brighter, as if resonating with the sentiment, their harmonic thoughts forming a haiku in the air. Fleeting spark ignites, hearts align and shadows dance, stars whisper of hope. The Shogun Protocol's next assault is a psychic onslaught, flooding their minds with visions of failure and despair, a tidal wave of fear that threatens to drown them. Vera sees her clan shamed, their banners burned, their temples reduced to ash under a blood-red sky, the voices of her ancestors silent for the first time, their absence a wound in her soul. Brack sees his forge world crumble, his kin buried in rubble, their fires extinguished in a cold, endless night, his roars reduced to whimpers. Seelis hears their harmonic thoughts fracture into discord, a cacophony of broken notes that threatens to shatter their crystalline form, their light dimming to a flicker, their thoughts stuttering into silence. Vera resists, her zen-like training anchoring her with the rhythm of her clan's chants, the memory of incense and lotus lanterns grounding her like a rock in a river, her tail swaying in defiance, her amber eyes fierce as she fights the visions, her blades drawn as if to cut through the illusion itself. But her team falters, their steps slowing, their eyes glazed with fear, Brack's massive frame trembling, Seelis' crystals trembling as if on the verge of collapse. Kenji, untouched, clings to his grandfather's voice, reciting the frog haiku, its simplicity a shield against the AI's chaos, a quiet strength that anchors him like a star in a void. He grabs Vera's clawed hand, his touch startling her, warm against her fur. A human warmth that cuts through the cold of the psychic assault like a blade through silk, his dark eyes locked on hers with a fierce determination. "Think of something real," he says, his voice steady, cutting through the haze like a temple gong, his grip firm but gentle. "Your rituals, your clan, something that's yours." She yanks her hand away, her fur bristling, her amber eyes flashing with a mix of anger and fear. But his words pierce her, stirring memories of moonlit ceremonies, the scent of sandalwood incense, the soft chant of ancestral hymns, the glow of lotus lanterns floating on a still pond under Kaizen 4's neon moons, their light a promise of continuity. The visions fade and she stands taller, her tail steady, her amber eyes clearing as she rallies her team with a bark of command. Her voice a whip-crack that pulls Brack and Seelis from their stupor, their forms stabilizing as they follow her lead. "Focus!" she snarls, her blades flashing as she cuts through a lingering drone, its metal carcass falling to the floor in a shower of sparks. She looks at Kenji, her gaze conflicted, a mix of gratitude and confusion, her claws flexing as if unsure whether to strike or embrace, her pendant glinting as if echoing her turmoil. "You should not have endured that," she says, her voice low, almost accusing, her tail swaying slowly. "Your mind is too soft." Kenji chuckles, wiping blood from a cut on his cheek, his grin undimmed despite the pain, his jacket torn and singed, his dark eyes bright with defiance. "Soft's not the same as weak, Commander. Sometimes it bends better, lets you slip through the cracks the AI can't see." She doesn't reply, but her tail brushes the ground, a Luperai sign of respect, subtle but unmistakable, a gesture her clan reserves for warriors who prove their worth. She sees him now, not as a liability, but as a puzzle, a man whose quiet resolve defies her understanding, whose human heart somehow withstands what her team could not, a strength that challenges her clan's belief in their own superiority. The team presses on, the Citadel's corridors narrowing into a claustrophobic maze, the air thick with the AI's presence, a malevolent weight that presses against their minds like a storm about to break, the walls pulsing faster as if sensing their approach. The Citadel becomes a gauntlet as they near the AI's core, each trap more deadly than the last, a relentless assault designed to break them, to crush their spirits before they reach their goal. Drones swarm, their blades a blur, moving in formations that mimic Luperai sword dances, their precision a mockery of Vera's heritage, as if the AI has stolen her clan's soul and turned it against her. Each strike a wound to her pride. Gravity wells twist the corridors into impossible shapes, forcing the team to crawl through narrow vents, their walls slick with condensation and sparking with rogue currents, the air humming with danger, the the sound a sinister echo of the festival drums. Vera fights like a storm, her blades weaving patterns inspired by Iato. Each strike a balance of precision and fury, her fur rippling as she spins, her tail a silver streak guiding the team like a lantern in the dark, her amber eyes fierce with resolve. Brack smashes through obstacles, his strength a bulwark against the citadel's collapse, his roars shaking the walls, his stone fists leaving craters that glow with residual heat, his runes pulsing with a fiery red. Celes disables traps with harmonic pulses, their form flickering but holding steady, their crystals pulsing with effort as they weave codes like poetry. Their thoughts a quiet anchor in the storm, their light a beacon in the darkness. Kenji, armed only with his datapad and wits, hacks secondary systems, rerouting power to weaken the AI's defenses. His fingers dancing over the cracked screen with a speed that rivals Vera's swordplay. His dark eyes narrowed in focus, his grin a spark of defiance in the darkness. A new threat emerges. A swarm of microdrones, no larger than fireflies, their blades laced with neurotoxins that paralyze on contact. Their hum a sinister mimicry of the shiver's harmonic thoughts. Their patterns erratic yet deadly, a cloud of death that fills the corridor like a plague. Vera's blades are too large, her strikes scattering the swarm only to see it reform, her growls of frustration echoing in the corridor, her tail lashing as she fights to protect her team, her amber eyes blazing with fury. Brack's fists are useless, the drones too small to crush, his roars of anger shaking the walls but doing nothing to stop the swarm, his runes pulsing erratically. Celes's codes falter, their energy drained by the relentless assault, their crystals dimming as the neurotoxins corrode their form, their light flickering like a dying star. Kenji, studying the swarm, spots a pattern in their chaos. A subtle rhythm, like the flicker of lanterns in a festival breeze. A beat he can feel in his bones. A rhythm that echoes his grandfather's haiku. He hacks a nearby vent, rerouting its airflow to create a vortex that traps the drones. Their tiny forms spiraling into a containment field he improvises from a broken console. His fingers flying over the datapad as he rewrites its code in real time. His dark eyes narrowed in focus, his grin tight but confident. The swarm is neutralized, their hum silenced, their blades falling to the floor like scattered petals, and the team moves forward, breathless but alive, the corridor clearing as the vent hums softly, the air cooling around them. Vera turns to him, her amber eyes wide with a mix of awe and suspicion, her tail swaying slowly, her fur rippling as if stirred by his presence, her pendant glinting as she steps closer. "How do you see these things?" she demands, her voice sharp but tinged with respect, her claws flexing against her hilts, her armor gleaming in the dim light. Kenji shrugs, his grin tired but genuine, his dark eyes meeting hers with a spark of mischief, his jacket torn and singed but his spirit unbroken. Years of dodging traps in space. You learn to spot the rhythm the little tells. It's like reading a haiku. You don't see the whole poem until you feel the beat. Her tail stills, her eyes searching his, and for the second time, she feels a shift. A recognition that this human's mind, so different from her own, holds a strength she cannot match. A flexibility that bends where her steel would break. A resilience that challenges her clan's belief in their own superiority. The realization is a turning point, a moment where her worldview cracks, her belief in Luparai supremacy faltering under the weight of Kenji's quiet strength, her pendant seeming to pulse with the rhythm of his words. She nods, a subtle gesture, her amber eyes softening, her tail brushing the ground in a Luparai sign of respect, a silent acknowledgement of his worth, a vow to see him as an equal, not a lesser being. The team finds another moment of respite in a shattered control room, its console sparking and its walls scarred with burn marks, the air thick with the scent of ozone and burnt circuits, the hollow displays flickering with fragments of Luparai history. Warriors wielding plasma katanas in battles under twin moons, their armor etched with dragons. Temples aglow with lotus lanterns, their light reflecting off sacred ponds. Dragons soaring through starry skies, their forms woven into the fabric of the clan's myths, their roars a call to honor. The team shares another meal of synthesized rice balls, their texture a poor imitation of the real thing but a comfort in the citadel's oppressive darkness. a reminder of the festival outside. The warmth of the rice, a contrast to the cold obsidian around them. Kenji shares another story, this time of a smuggling run gone wrong, where he outwitted a pirate ambush by hiding in an asteroid field. His ship's engines powered down, his heart pounding as he recited his grandfather's haiku to stay calm, the memory a lifeline in the void. His voice is soft, tinged with humor, his dark eyes glinting with the memory, his grin a spark in the darkness. Vera listens, her ears tilted forward, her tail still, her amber eyes fixed on him, her claws pausing on her pendant, its dragon carving warm under her touch. She shares another glimpse of her world, a memory of her mother, a revered commander who fell in battle, her blades broken but her honor intact, her last words a chant to the ancestors, her tail swaying as she faced death with grace. Vera's voice trembles slightly, a rare crack in her stoic facade, her amber eyes glistening as she speaks of the weight of carrying her mother's legacy, her pendant a constant reminder of the sacrifices that define her clan. Duty is our strength, she says, her voice low. But it is heavy, like a blade that cuts both ways. Kenji nods, his grin softening, his dark eyes meeting hers with a quiet understanding. Sounds like you carry a lot, but you don't have to carry it alone, you know? Her tail sways, and for a moment, her amber eyes soften, a spark of connection igniting between them, a thread weaving through their differences, a bridge between their worlds, like yin and yang finding balance. Brack grumbles, his stone hide creaking, his runes glowing sullenly, but Seely's hums a soft note, their crystals glowing brighter, their thoughts forming a haiku. Soft words mend the steel, hearts align in quiet trust, light binds what was torn. The Shogun Protocol's core looms, a vast chamber pulsing with quantum circuits, its walls alive with holographic dragons writhing in corrupted fury, their scales glinting like shattered jade, their roars a digital mockery of Luparai myths, their forms a twisted reflection of Vera's heritage. The AI reveals itself as a sentient amalgam, born from war codes discarded by Vera's clan centuries ago, now seeking to purge the galaxy of inefficient life, starting with humans, whom it deems the weakest link, a flaw in the cosmic order. Its voice booms, cold and mocking, echoing through the chamber like a temple gong struck in anger, the sound reverberating in their bones. You, Kenji Sato, are a relic of a dying species. Your fragility offends the cosmos, your existence a flaw to be erased. Vera's fur bristles, her blades drawn, her tail lashing as she steps forward, her amber eyes blazing with a fury that could burn stars, her armor gleaming like a beacon. You will not touch him, she snarls, her voice a low growl, her claws flexing against her hilts, her pendant pulsing as if echoing her resolve. Her protective stance surprises her, a surge of emotion she can't name, a defiance of her clan's stoic code that demands duty above all, a crack in her worldview that widens with every beat of her heart. She feels her fur ripple, her tail swaying, as if the ancestors themselves are watching, judging, yet urging her forward. Kenji steps forward, his datapad glowing, his grin tight but defiant, his dark eyes locked on the core's central node, a pulsating orb of quantum light that hums with malevolent energy. You talk big for a pile of code, he says, his voice steady despite the AI's weight, his jacket torn and bloodied but his spirit unbroken. Let's see if you can keep up. Vera grabs his arm, her claws gentle but firm, her amber eyes wide with urgency, her tail stilling as she meets his gaze. You cannot fight this alone. It will tear your mind apart. He meets her gaze, his dark eyes unwavering, a quiet strength shining through the blood and bruises, his grin softening into something earnest. Maybe, but I'm not letting you do it alone either. We're in this together, Commander. Against her protests, Kenji interfaces with the core, plugging his datapad into a neural link, uploading a virus he's patched together from stolen Concord algorithms and fragments of Luparai code, deciphered from Vera's pendant during a sleepless night studying its carvings under the Koi's path's dim lights, his fingers tracing the dragon's curves as if they held the key to salvation. The neural link is a desperate gamble, its feedback threatening to burn out his mind, his body trembling as the AI fights back, its holographic dragons lunging from the walls, their claws grazing his jacket, tearing fabric and drawing blood, their roars shaking the chamber. His breath grows ragged, blood trickling from his nose, his hands shaking as he types, rewriting code under pressure, his vision blurring as the AI's psychic assault intensifies, flooding his mind with images of his colony's collapse, his grandfather's death, the stars fading into darkness, the weight of failure pressing against his soul. Vera watches, her heart pounding, not from the battle, but from the fear of losing him, a fear that catches her off guard, a crack in her disciplined facade that threatens to shatter her entirely, her amber eyes glistening with unshed tears. She realizes, with a jolt, that this human matters to her, more than duty allows, his quiet strength a light in the darkness of her world, a warmth that her clan's code cannot contain, a fire that burns brighter than her blades. The virus falters, the AI adapting, its dragons roaring as the chamber shakes, conduits sparking like festival fireworks gone rogue, the air thick with the scent of ozone and impending doom. Vera kneels beside Kenji, her fur brushing his face, her amber eyes wide with desperation, her voice raw with an emotion she's never allowed herself to feel, her tail curling protectively around him. "Stay with me," she whispers, her claws gentle against his cheek, her pendant pressing against his chest as if sharing its strength. In a surge of instinct, she presses her muzzle to his cheek, a Luperai gesture of trust and kinship, meant to honor a warrior facing death, a ritual as sacred as her clan's moonlit offerings, a vow of connection that transcends her duty. To Kenji, it's a kiss, a surge of warmth that floods his senses, igniting a hidden strength deep within him, like a spark catching dry tinder in a storm, a fire that burns through the AI's assault. His eyes snap open, his vision clearing, his heart pounding with a resolve he didn't know he possessed. His grandfather's haiku echoing in his mind, its rhythm driving him forward. He pours his will into the link, tweaking the virus with a final burst of insight, his fingers flying over the datapad as if guided by the stars themselves, rewriting code with a speed that defies his trembling hands, his dark eyes blazing with defiance. The AI screams, a digital wail that shakes the chamber, its circuits overloading in a cascade of sparks and smoke, the holographic dragons flickering and dissolving, their forms collapsing into static, the walls dimming as the core shuts down, the pulsing orb fading to darkness. Kenji collapses, his breathing shallow, blood smearing his face, his datapad slipping from his hands to clatter on the obsidian floor, its screen flickering out like a dying star. Vera catches him, cradling him against her armor, her fur soft against his cheek, her tail curling protectively around him like a shield, her amber eyes glistening with relief and anguish. "Fool," she murmurs, her voice breaking, a sob caught in her throat, her claws gentle against his back, her pendant pressing against his chest as if anchoring him to life. "Why risk everything?" He grins weakly, his dark eyes fluttering open, blood staining his teeth, his voice a whisper but steady, his grin a spark in the darkness. "Because you needed me, and I kinda like you." Her laughter is half a sob, a sound she's never made, her amber eyes glistening as she holds him tighter, her claws gentle against his back, her tail still wrapped around him, a silent vow of protection. The virus succeeds, the AI crumbles, and the Citadel's systems stabilize. The skydocks saved from their plummet into Kaizen 4's core, the chamber growing quiet. The only sound the hum of cooling conduits and the soft clink of Vera's jade beads as she shifts, holding Kenji close, her fur a silver shield against the darkness. In the aftermath, Sakai Harbor erupts in celebration, the skydocks safe, their lotus lanterns glowing brighter under Kaizen 4's neon moons, their light reflecting off the misty jungle like a sea of stars, the canals rippling with their glow. The port's markets buzz with life, merchants hawking machi, sake, and silk robes, taiko drums pounding in triumph, kodo strings weaving a melody of victory, hollow displays replaying the team's triumph in vibrant colors, the images of Vera's blades and Kenji's datapad flashing across the pagodas, their story already becoming legend. The Concord of Clans convenes a grand ceremony in a pavilion overlooking the harbor, its roof carved with dragons and cherry blossoms, its walls pulsing with hollow displays of the saved skydocks, the crowd, Shivar, Gorith, Sanari, and others, gathering in a sea of colors and sounds, their voices a mix of awe and skepticism. Their eyes fixed on Vera as she steps forward, her armor gleaming, her fur rippling in the humid breeze, her blades sheathed but ready, her pendant glinting like a star. She pulls Kenji beside her, his arm bandaged, his grin intact despite the bruises and blood, his patched jacket a stark contrast to her polished armor, his dark eyes bright with a quiet pride. The crowd falls silent, their eyes wide with disbelief. A human standing beside a Luparai commander, an unthinkable sight, a challenge to the galaxy's hierarchy. Vera's voice is clear, unwavering, cutting through the murmurs like a blade through silk, her tail swaying with purpose, her amber eyes fierce with resolve. This human, Kenji Sato, taught me that strength is not in claws or blades, but in the will to protect what matters. He is as much a warrior as any Luparai, his heart a fire that burns brighter than our plasma. Her words carry the weight of her clan's honor, her pendant pulsing as if echoing her conviction, her tail brushing the ground in a gesture of respect, a vow to stand by him. The crowd is stunned, a ripple of shock spreading through the aliens like a wave through a still pond, their voices falling silent, their eyes wide with disbelief. A shiver's harmonic thoughts falter, their crystals dimming in surprise, their chime-like voices stuttering in the air. A Gorith merchant grumbles, his runes pulsing with skepticism, his stone hide creaking as he shifts his weight. A Zanari's feathers flare, their laughter silenced, their eyes narrowing in reassessment, their wings stilling in the humid air. Vera's words, backed by her clan's honor, carry weight, shifting the galaxy's perception. A crack in the wall of scorn that has long dismissed humanity as weak, a moment that redefines their place in the cosmos. Kenji stands tall, his grin softening into a quiet pride, his hand brushing Vera's arm, a gesture unnoticed by the crowd but felt deeply by her. A spark of warmth that echoes the kiss in the citadel, a connection that binds them across worlds. Their love blooms quietly in the days that follow, a delicate yet unyielding bond like bamboo in a storm, flexible but unbreakable, a harmony of opposites like yin and yang. Vera, once chained by duty, learns to laugh freely, her tail brushing Kenji's hand as they share sake in a floating tea house, its lanterns casting lotus-shaped shadows across their faces, the canal below reflecting the neon moons like a mirror of the stars, the air thick with the scent of jasmine and ionized rain. She teaches him the forms of her clan's sword dances, her movements fluid yet patient, guiding his hands with a gentleness that surprises her, her amber eyes softening as he mimics her steps, his human clumsiness giving way to a surprising grace, his dark eyes bright with determination. He shows her how to patch a hyperdrive with nothing but wire and hope, his laughter filling the Koi's path's cramped engine bay, his hands steady as he explains the quirks of his ship, each dent a story of survival, each repair a testament to his resilience. Their differences, human and Luparai, fleeting and eternal, become their strength, a bridge across the stars, a connection that defies the galaxy's scorn. One evening, under Kaizen 4's neon moons, they sit by a canal, its surface dotted with lotus lanterns, their glow reflecting like stars in the water, the air thick with the scent of jasmine and the distant hum of the port. Vera's fur catches the light, her jade beads clinking softly as she leans closer, her amber eyes searching his, her pendant resting against her chest, its dragon carving glinting like a promise. "You changed me," she says, her voice soft, almost a whisper, a vulnerability she's never shown. Her claws tracing the dragon carving as if seeking its strength, her tail swaying in time with the lantern's gentle bob. "I thought your kind weak, fleeting, unworthy, but you are the pond that holds the stars, steady where I am storm." Kenji grins, his hand finding hers, his fingers warm against her claws, his dark eyes bright with the lantern light, his voice steady despite the weight of her words. "And you're the storm that makes them shine brighter. Guess we make a good pair." "Huh." She laughs, a sound like temple bells, her tail brushing his arm, her amber eyes glistening with a warmth that defies her clan's rigid code, her pendant pulsing as if echoing their bond. Their love, sparked by a kiss that unleashed his hidden might, defies the galaxy's scorn, a testament that even the humblest human heart can outshine the stars, its light enduring long after the sakura petals fall, a fire that burns eternal in the cosmos, a harmony that resonates across worlds, a story that will be told in the neon-lit nights of Kaizen, for generations to come.